back to WagerTalk TV. It is Friday. Happy Friday to all of you out there, all of our loyal viewers. Dave Cokin coming off a 2-0 morning. I got just the one winner this morning, but we're both feeling pretty good. How are things on your end?
Oh, I get no complaints. I don't care if it's a square play or not, as long as they keep cashing. And we'll talk about the NC Dinos in this show, because I did play their game that goes late this evening, but I did not post it on WagerTalk, and I'll explain that as we get to the game.
Definitely, and yeah, you mentioned that about square or this or that. I mean, I had someone call me out on Twitter saying, how can you celebrate a win and give out a client pick on NC? And I said, well, it's a winner. That's all that I was really concerned about, and I'll explain more when we get to that game. Okay, sounds good. We'll go right into it. It's a Friday. We won't waste any time. Yesterday was a fun show, though, Dave. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit longer, but we'll start things right off here with a pretty good pitching matchup here. Kia Tigers, Doosan Bears, coming off an interesting game actually from yesterday. We saw the Bears win 5-1, and I think things will be a little bit interesting here in this one. Like I said, two interesting pitchers here. Flexen versus Gagnon. I don't know. Like, I think that for me personally, looking at the start that both these pitchers have had, I think that it's only gotten better for Gagnon. You see him 17 strikeouts and only just 5 hits and 12 scoreless just recently. So what I like to look at for me is seeing that if somebody has a bad start, you can take that into account. But I look at their last game or two and try and take a look at recent form. And for this guy, he's just really looked real comfortable right now. And then also take a look at Flexen, 2.21 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. I'm going to wait here and probably take a look at the first 5 innings under, play the 9, no lower than that. And I'm going to I have a lean to the Tigers here at the plus value. I don't want to lay that number here with the Doosan Bears. I think that we can really see some quality pitching kind of deter this lineup here for the Bears. So I'll go ahead and I'll take a shot.
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of this game. Gagnon's been really inconsistent. I mean, he's been really good or really bad. And he's facing a very good offense here, so he better have his best stuff tonight. And the Tigers' offense is humming along as well. And they face Flexen, who's pitching solid ball, although he's been a little more fortunate, I would say, in some regards. He's a tough. It's a tough pitching line on Flexen because he's got some good stuff and then some that's a little bit shaky. I mean, his FIP is only fair. He's had bad luck on batting average and balls in play. He's got a really high strand rate, which might have some correction. But he's getting the job done. Gagnon has been back and forth. His FIP is terrific. Mm-hmm. He's got a high batting average in balls in play. He's got 6 walks and 37 strikeouts. That's really positive. But when he's in the strike zone, he gets hit. So he's been a tough pitcher to figure. I mean, it looks like a good foreign versus foreign pitchers duel. But I'm not sure it plays out that way with the two offenses. So, and the total's kind of low. It's sitting at 9. I just couldn't play it at 9. If it had been 9.5, I think I might have taken my chances with the under. But not seeing any of that. It opened 8.5. Did get to 9, but I don't think it's getting any higher than that. So I'm not getting my number. I'll leave it alone.
I agree with that for sure. We'll move on. Next up here, we've got. And yeah, definitely. I just want to mention that again. That's a great pitching matchup. I think a lot of great pitchers we're seeing here tonight. A lot of potential, opportunities to see some good pitching battles, pitching duels here. Kiwoom, we're going to see
wait a minute.
Matchup here. Sorry, go ahead.
You're in the wrong game. You got to get
sorry about that.
Dinos Eagles.
Sorry, Dinos versus the Eagles. I guess we'll get right into it because you and I were going to talk about this before, and we saved it until now. I just want to say personally, before I go, is I wish I spent more time yesterday. I made a little video. I tagged you in it. I'm not sure if you watched it, but I gave a little shout out again to the first 5 innings and the team totals in this sport. But if your book offers alternate lines, it's time to start betting it with this NC team. I saw a few people tweet at me about it. I was really, really late with it, but I mean, the score that we saw when I saw 10-0, it was just like, you know what? The fact that I felt great about myself getting a -160 and it closed at -190. I don't even know why I felt good about myself, because I could have got a way better number on a -2.5 or a -3 or anything like that. And that just proved that they're in a different class right now than their opposition. I mean, when I said things aren't going to get any better for Hanwha, it's first of all, it was a good pitcher for NC out there. Let's get that out of the way. But it was just horrible, horrible pitching from Hanwha. It was looking easy in the batter's box, pretty much. To quote the Yankees manager, the NC Dinos batters were savages this morning in the batter's box and making it look pretty easy. So I don't know, the line movement we're seeing here on this game again tonight, or again for this morning, when are we going to start seeing -2s or -2.5s, Dave? Like, how does that really work? Or is it going to be just juiced minus,
no, they'll just keep juicing it. So this is a game that I played. I did not put it on a WagerTalk because I knew the line was just going to go nuts, and it did. I played Dinos -1.5. Even my number wasn't the best, but I got -165. I think it was lower than that actually at this open, which is ridiculous. But I knew it was going to get to $2, and it did. So I didn't post it at WagerTalk. It's a play, but it's not a play at WagerTalk. Koo's been the best pitcher in the league so far. Period. There's nobody pitching better. His numbers are ridiculous. 35 innings, 12 hits. 12 hits, 9 walks, 38 strikeouts, giving up 2 earned runs. I mean, granted, he's had a little bit of luck. Batting average on balls in play is 158. You got to think that's not going to last. But he's facing the worst offense in the league here. So anything can happen, and it's one game. But it's really tough to see the Eagles winning this. And as far as the runs line is concerned, they've played 21 games. 19 of those games, they've lost 19 of the 21 losses, I should say. 19 of the 21 losses by 2 or more runs, including their last 15. In all 12 games in this 0-12 streak that they're on right now, they've lost by 2 or more runs. I mean, you look at -200 on the -1.5 and say, well, I can't lay that. Yeah, you probably can, because the numbers indicate that that's actually still a little bit cheap. And again, the only reason I didn't post it on WagerTalk is because it's 40 cents away from where it opened, and I really don't recommend taking bad numbers. But I certainly would not try to talk anybody off the Dinos here. This looks like it should be a complete mismatch.
Definitely. You look at the numbers the Dinos are putting up, and that's one thing. And then it's the pitching night after night. I thought that we saw a great pitcher coming yesterday that wasn't even, anywhere near the pitching I think we're going to see today. So after seeing what we saw this morning, and then the pitcher almost gets upgraded, you can only imagine that it'll come even closer and even better this time around. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I want to make it very clear, because I've been kind of stumbling around with saying this. I told somebody yesterday on Twitter that was asking about team totals. If you're uncomfortable laying a price with a run line right now, you're going to get a better price on team. I mean, I got over 6.5 this morning with NC at -135 or -140 in comparison to getting that run line, and the closing number was around -190. If you're betting this last second and you don't want to lay the juice, pick a team you like and, hopefully they get some runs for you. Not always, but in certain instances, I definitely would say that's a good positive expectation. And especially if you can bet the first 5s, grab the spread bet. I know some books as well can do like a first half and full game wager. So if a team wins the first half and also wins the full game, and that can kind of get some better odds for you. But that's getting a little complicated. Not everyone's book has that. But I'm with you, Dave. Every day we're going to come on here, we're going to talk about these teams. And we're going to say a lot, quote for quote, I'm back in the Dinos, -1.5, and for good reason.
Yeah, note, by the way, Chad Bell in this game for the Eagles. We'll see if he was terrible in his first outing, better last day. He has not been sharp so far, but he should get better at some point. So maybe he can keep the Eagles in this game, but he'll have to do better with the walks. 7 walks in 7 innings so far. That's not going to get it done. I don't care what league you're in. You put people on base with free passes, you're going to get beat.
Well, yeah, I mentioned to you yesterday on the show about how you could be seeing a team with a great pitcher going out there, just like we're seeing right now with NC against a Hanwha team that's iffy to score with a pitcher that should be decent with them. But Dave, we're seeing an 8.5 run total here with a team that just easily put up 13 runs.
Well, yeah,
look easy, right?
Plus, the other side of that, though, is Cokin could pitch a shutout the way he's going, and then the Dinos have to get all the runs by themselves. So that's why the over to me is a little bit dicey on that one. This guy's just not giving up anything. He's the best pitcher in the league right now, and I am sure major league teams are looking at him and getting set to make offers. This kid's going to pitch the majors.
Definitely. So this could quite possibly be one of those ones where I'm going to look towards Hanwha under and the spread here for the Dinos. And like you said, if you want that full game total, you might actually have to depend on NC once again doing the bulk of the scoring, which might not be a problem, but it could be. If we get any type of pitching on favor of Hanwha. LG Twins, Kiwoom Heroes. Kiwoom's one of 6 of their last 7 games, last 4 starts. We've seen striking out 9 batters and just 3 walks in favor of the pitcher for the Twins. So, when I look at this one here, I think hold on, let's see, I'm looking at the wrong game, I think, actually. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wilson is a guy I'm looking for to continue to bet on. I think that he's the kind of guy, like I said, had a slower start, but has certainly settled in. And I don't think he's crazy aggressive or anything like that. But the thing is, his strikeout rate is unbelievable. And Kiwoom, what I've noticed and what I've read, and once again, shout out to Freddie Mills, but this Kiwoom team is very patient around the plate. They like to build up, get fall behind in the pitch count. And that's, a tribute to a lot of research and reading from those guys that are writing these articles. But it just seems to me, I think Wilson's going to get in there and absolutely dominate this team. And I think it's a fair price. It's only going to get higher before first pitch. And this is a good spot here to back a pretty solid American or import pitcher. And like I've been mentioning, it's nothing against these pitchers because Dave and I were just praising a Korean-born pitcher for the NC Dinos. But I just think right now in this matchup, look at the ERA here for the opposition, 7.83 versus Wilson, who's posting an ERA that probably is higher than it should be. He had a pretty solid campaign last year, I think, and I think he'll come into it and get a good job done here this morning. So I think the Twins get the job done here after falling this morning and bounce back. And, I wouldn't go ahead and, lay a crazy number with it by any means, but I'm comfortable around minus 140, 145 to back Wilson here in this spot and get the job done.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on Wilson. He's been okay. I don't think he's pitching at the level the Twins would like him to pitch at. Good control, though. He's averaging, less than one walk every 4 innings, which is pretty good. And that means the Heroes are not going to be able to stand up there and just take pitches and work counts. They'll be behind in counts if they do that, and that'll get them in trouble. They are a hot team right now. They've won 4 in a row. The offense is humming pretty well. Don't like their pitcher, Lee. He's basically a number 4 starter in this league. The numbers are not particularly encouraging this year. He's not a big strikeout guy. He's giving up a lot of hits. His control is so-so. I think the pitching edge does belong with the Twins. I stayed out of it because, I think the price is about right in that minus 150 range. I guess it's a little bit lower than that now. Let me check and see what the latest number is on it. Yeah, it's come down. 130, 126 we're seeing. I think part of the reason for that is that, and this I do agree with, I don't like going against hot teams. And the Heroes have won 4 straight. So that's going to keep me out of it, despite the fact the Twins would seem to have the edge on the mound in this game.
Next game up here, Dave, I got to take my hat off to you, give you some credit, because I thought about it but never pulled trigger. And I wasn't sure if you did, but apparently you got 2-0 cashed in here with the Lotte Giants. I mean, some teams, they have to win some games. They're not going to have a great season, but they have to win some. What do you think about them now? Because a lot of times people say you want to hop on a team, at the beginning of the season.
No. It was a spot play all the way. Mm-hmm. The other team's bullpen had to work 7 2/3 innings the prior game, and they had basically a relief pitcher starting. Yeah. So I knew they were going to have to work 5 or 6 innings in this game, and they did. And the bullpen eventually got them in trouble because you had the big blast in the 7th inning, which turned a 1-run deficit into a 2-run lead, and that was the ball game. So I got my win out of the Giants, and I'm happy with that. I think the Wiz beat them tonight. I know Straley's on the mound for the Giants, and people like to back the American pitchers. But Straley's been inconsistent. His control has not been good. He's walked 15 batters so far. That's, we're talking 4.5 walks per 9 innings. That's not an encouraging stat. So he hasn't really found his groove. And I would say that his ERA is maybe a little bit misleading. It's under 3. FIP is, to me, more accurate, and that's about 3.6. Bay is decent for the Wiz, and I think they're certainly the better baseball team, much better offensively. Do we have any other notes on this game? Well, yeah, Conga's still out, and he's a really big part of their offense. He, I think, is back next week. They're still missing a DH as well. And I had something else on the game, but I can't make out what it is. Anyway, I lean to the Wiz in the game at the price. I think that's where the value is in this matchup. I would not play the Giants here. I don't know if this actually gets a bet for me or not. I'm still mulling it over. If it keeps going up, I'm probably going to go ahead and take it. And that line is now sitting at it's as high as 140. If it clicks up to 150 because people are in love with Straley, I'm gonna take the other side. Right now, I'm not, but I would look at the Wiz here.
Yeah, Dave, I'm looking at Bet Online right now, minus 155 for the Lotte Giants. The way I see it, a lot of the times you want to try.
What's the take back? I don't know what are they using for lines. Is it 20 cent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 115, plus 125 in favor of KT.
So it's a 30 cent line
right now. Yes.
Okay, that's
my bad.
You bet 30 cent lines, you deserve to lose. No, I'm serious. Shop around and get better. And 20. The Superbook has the best margins, but at least get a 20 cent line. Beyond that, obviously, if it's a really big price, that's something different. But when it's 150 on one side, you got to be getting plus 130 on the other side.
I've just been using Bet Online because I find that they're coming out with them the fastest that I've seen. Yeah. Personally, I'm not actually betting them on these. I've been betting some team totals, though, on them. But anyway, point being that I wanted to say for myself is that good performance. Hats off to you for the spot play. I thought it was a good spot as well, especially, after the night before. Like you said, the bullpen was active. But I'm no way, no how am I looking at this Lotte team with this price against the KT team that actually can score. They can put up runs. Let's not forget, Lotte is 9th in the league in runs scored. One decent game is not going to, throw me off or change the way I feel. It's actually going to get me a little more excited to fade them once again at an even better price. So I'll go ahead here and make it official. I'll take KT here at plus 125 price and, expect things to go right back downhill for the Lotte Giants. And I think it's a good opportunity here because, like you said, people are going to love the American pitchers or the import pitchers. And it's a good opportunity because I'm curious what the odds would be if it wasn't him. And because we're getting him there, it's creating good odds, creating good opportunity. And a lot of people are going to want to go that way. And I'm going to go right the opposite, just the exact same way you're thinking. As far as the total goes, pass for me. I like to usually try and lean one way or the other on the show. But for this opportunity, for this game, no lean towards the total. KT on the money line. And I just want to say, I'm seeing a lot of people out there taking plus 1.5s. Why? Dave and I keep talking.
The stat now is it's 20-0 this week, by the way. Mm-hmm. 20 games this week, and all of them have been decided by 2 or more runs. On the season, 137 games, only 25 one-run games. This is it's just not configured the same as major leagues, where plus 1.5 is something you can kind of sink your teeth into sometimes, and it is, in my opinion, actually a better value bet in the majors than minus 1.5. But not in this league. Now, that may change, but right now, there just aren't any close games. So, to me, plus 1.5 is you're sacrificing value if you do that. You may as well just take them straight up as an underdog because they're less than 25% of the games are being decided by one run. That's an extraordinarily low percentage, and you'd think that has to change, but it might just be that the gap between the top and bottom in this league is so great that it's not going to.
Well, this kind of reminds me of some soccer leagues. I mean, this league could literally be two different leagues. A couple teams in the bottom, a couple teams at the top, and then somehow one team gets relegated to the bottom or something like. Obviously, it's only 10 teams, but it's purely one class is up here, one class is down here. This Hanwha matchup right now, like you said, we're seeing a minus 210 on the run line, and it just shouldn't be happening in baseball at all. Shout out to Ryan, Joel, Matt, Daniel, Harold, Austin, Bo, Rudy, Abel, everybody tuning into the show. Brian Watson, always hooking us up with a like on the video and checking us out. I appreciate that. Everybody saying
got a question on there.
Thanks for plugging Freddie Mills. Guy on Twitter is the holy
grail of
KBO. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, David. Just wanted to shout out this comment there.
Matt had a question. Can you explain the 20-cent, 30-cent line? Yeah, it's the difference between the favorite and the dog. Mm-hmm. So in football, if you're betting point spreads, it's a 10-cent line most of the time. And you're laying minus 110 either way. In baseball, in Major League Baseball, you should be getting dime lines, okay? If you're not, you need to get a better book. But you're not going to get that in this league, except, I believe, at Superbook. And but 20-cent line is, in other words, it'd be minus 130 plus 110. Well, that's just what you're going to get in this league. But I still wouldn't bet a 30-cent line because now it's just a bad number. Minus 130 plus 100? No. Find another book. No, I'm dead serious. I mean, you're laughing, but it's that simple. Find another book. They're out there. And shop around, and if you're still stuck dealing with a local, and that's all he's going to give you, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh well,
you got to put the if you give up, if you willingly take the worst of it, you shouldn't be gambling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just want to say, in regards to that, when I get DMs from people saying, "How about this number?" Especially if it's a free play, if it's a client play. I'm going to say, take it up to these odds or take it up to this number, especially in, sport, like with the point spread. But if you're dealing with a bookie or local or, whatever you want to call it, and you have some offshore books you're using, it's not up to me to give you that number. I'm sorry if you didn't get my under 9.5 and you're getting a 9 or 8. It's not up to me.
Local books, look, I've been in this a long time, and I'll go back to 1981 when I first got in the business and started dealing with customers. Prior to that, it was bookmaking, and that was actually still bookmaking. But I started getting customers from all over the country, and it was amazing. And at that time, there was no choice. You had a local, and that was it. There was no such thing as online betting or anything like that. But it was amazing how bad these people got screwed by their local bookmakers. I remember one guy, his name was Joe.
Though, eh?
Guy's name was Joe. He's from West Virginia. And anytime a line was pick'em, he had to lay one. He didn't get pick'em. It was minus 1 either way, and all the bets were 6 to 5. Everything was 6 to 5. Had to lay 6 to 5. But that's what he was stuck dealing with. And at that time, I couldn't yell at somebody and say, "Look, I mean, you got to find another book," because if the guy's in West Virginia, he might not have any other choices. And there were no other choices back then. You couldn't log on and get an offshore account. It was just a different world. But it's 2020. There are reputable books offshore if you don't have legalized gambling in your state yet. If you're still dealing with some mom and pop local who's screwing you on the numbers, find somewhere else. Don't bet with them. You're doing them a favor, and you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of people are dealing with bookies. They're not thinking long term; they're thinking short term, trying to make a quick buck. So they don't really care about those.
The bookie's looking at it and saying, "Believe me, I know this because I was a bookmaker." Look, there were guys I knew on Sunday were going to bet the New York. I'm from the Northeast, and a lot of New York Giants fans. Okay, and back then the Giants were generally competitive, and I knew they were going to bet the Giants. I shaded the line a half point, sometimes a point, because I knew they were going to bet it. So it's like, okay, I'll give myself the best of it. If they're stupid enough to take it, that's their problem. If they didn't, or if they got smart and bet the other way, well, okay, then they got the right price. But, if a bookmaker, I'm not even use the word screw you, if he can take advantage of you and you let him take advantage of you, then he's going to keep on doing it.
Definitely. We'll finish things off here, Dave. Samsung Lions, SK Wyverns here. I don't really have a play on this game. I'm not really looking at it. See, Samsung's a little banged up though.
Yes, they are.
I was thinking about taking a look at the Wyverns. Don't know how much I love the price, but I think they would be the look if I were to pull trigger. I don't have a lot of looks on this card. I know it's Friday. People want to go into the weekend with some winners, but to be quite honest, I'm a lot less active, these past 2 days than I was earlier in the week. And the irony is I've had a lot more success in the past 2 days being less active than I was in the start of the week. So I'll toss this over to you. I think I want to fade the injuries and, go ahead here with this SK team and try and get the job done because they proved to us over their 5-game win streak they can put out some runs and play some good ball, just maybe not against some of the top-tier teams.
I think the pitching has a chance to be pretty good in this game. You mentioned the injuries on the Lions side. They're not a very good offensive team anyway. And now they're missing a couple of their better hitters. So that is going to hamstring their offense. And the Wyverns, they're just not a good offensive team. They've done a little better lately, but it's still, they're still second worst in the league in runs scored. They're barely averaging 4 runs a game, which in this league is not good. And I think the pitchers are reasonable here. Neither one has great numbers. You've got Park going for the Wyverns. He's a 5 or 6 inning guy. He throws submarine ball. And he's passable. I wouldn't call him great. He's a middle of the road. He's a 3. Okay, he's a 3 starter in this league, which is not great, but it's not awful either. Troy's interesting because he probably should be pitching better than he is. He's not having a great season. His ERA is pretty good. 3-1, 3.21, but he's had some inconsistencies. But most of his problems have come against the really good offenses. And he's not facing a good offense here. So I know unders are dicey in this league. But I think this might be a pitching duel. And
sorry, go ahead.
I don't think there's 9.5. There's 9.5 is juiced. I think 9's the predominant number here. Not easy to bet under 9, but I'd lean that way.
Okay. That'll do it here for the show. It is Friday. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Dave and I are not live tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday at our usual time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks so much, Sean Ridley, for the nice words. Ryan, Daniel, Joel, for everybody tuning in. We appreciate it. Dave, do you have any packages up? I know you mentioned that you have a play for your clients. Do you have any packages up right now?
I don't know. I let customer service take care of that stuff. My gig has always been, look, I'm going to handicap the games. You guys do the promotion, okay? Because I'm not much good at promoting anyway. I'm just a handicapper, and I'm not, a big play type of guy and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's a package up there. So check it out, get with that, and you'll get all the plays.
You just pick winners, Dave. You don't need to promote. Hey, you just pick winners. Why worry about it? You're kicking ass, man. You're kicking ass right now.
Well, it's been good. I think the thing of it has always been for me is that once a day is done, it doesn't mean anything for the next day. So I have, it's like, do I promote? Well, I'm going wild right now in KBO. What happens if I hit 2 bad days in a row? Do I do a demotion instead of a promotion?
That's what I did. So, Dave, I'm not even joking you. I started off one of my promos this week saying Andrew has had a horrible start to his week. He lost his big $2 Tuesday play, but he's feeling good about today. So, I mean, to me, I'm trying to get people not only to buy my picks, but to buy myself, my transparency, because I don't want to be that guy that's going to tell everybody every single day I have the biggest play of the year, because I'm sure, especially through your lifetime, you've seen a lot of that. People.
Well, look, it's not. I'm not knocking it, because some guys are really good at isolating single big plays. I'm a grinder. That's what I am. I'm a grinder. I don't play a lot of games, but I'm generally an even keel. I keep all my wagers basically in the same area. I know we have 5, 4, 3% at WagerTalk. I will tell you, my bankroll, I basically play 2 to 2.5% on everything. I almost never deviate from that. If it's less than that, why bother betting it? And if it's more than that, I don't know. It just isn't more than that for me. I don't know when the last time I bet 5% of my bankroll on a play was. It'd be years. I don't just my style is very conservative, and the fact I'm still doing it after this many years and playing with the house's money, I must be doing something right, because not a lot of people win at this stuff.
It says something. Absolutely. Really, really important question for you, Dave, before we head out for the weekend. How was your lunch yesterday?
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, I had shrimp, chipotle, and a chipotle sauce, some fideo soup, delicious rice, like 16 glasses of iced tea because the chipotle was spicy. And it was good. It was real good.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm just dying to know. Every single day we're doing this show, I'm dying to know where we're going to go when I'm in Vegas. So whenever that ends up being, I'll definitely be curious to see where we end up going together. Lots
of good steakhouses. Our seafood's mess out here, but we got great sushi. Mexican food in the city is about as good as it gets. Lots of good restaurants.
Good stuff. All right, guys, everybody, enjoy your weekend. I hope you enjoyed the show, found some winners, and we're having a blast doing this. This is the second week wrapped up of the KBO betting show. Dave Cokin, myself, Andrew McInnis, Dave live from Las Vegas, myself, East Coast of Canada, Nova Scotia. Appreciate you guys joining, and we'll see you in the chat box Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Good luck with your wagers in the KBO, soccer, UFC tomorrow, whatever you're betting. Best of luck to you. Make some money. We'll see you on Monday.